I'm Beck's hybrid sales intern, Rachel Guerin. Today I'm with Alex Johnson at the London Practical Farm Research Facility. Today is June 22nd, and this past weekend we received 2.75 inches of rain, bringing our weekly total to over 6 inches. Alex is going to talk more about the Beck's Hybrids tile spacing study.
So we've had a lot of rain in Ohio the last 2 weeks. If you're one of those guys that's had way too much, I feel sorry for you. A lot of Ohio has seen that, especially in the northern part. We got a lot of flooding, a lot of corn and soybeans underwater, and of course a lot of saturated parts of the field. Today we wanted to show you some of the differences we're seeing here at the Beck's Practical Farm Research site where we're testing tile spacing. Right here I'm standing in between the 60-foot tile spacing and 50-foot tile spacing, and I wanted to show you the difference between this and where we have it tiled a little bit closer. So just like a lot of Ohio fields, you can see there's some yellow spots out in the field where the corn has suffered from too much water. I mean, there's a lot of fields in Ohio where it looks even worse. I understand that. What we have here is an AgriDrain inline water level control system. This helps us do our studies here at PFR because we can monitor how much water is flowing through the tile. If you want to come up here, we can look down into this pipe and I can show you how much water is flowing through. This is from where we're tiled every 60 foot. So we're able to look down in there and see how much water is flowing through the tile. Now this AgriDrain inline water level control structure, what it allows us to do is later on in the summer, if we want to put gates in there, we can control the water level in the field if we want to raise that up through the summer. So it gives us that flexibility. So from here we'll move on down and I'll show you the closer tile spacing. So now we've moved down in our trial where we're testing tile spacing. We're at the 40-foot tile spacing and 30-foot tile spacing. The corn looks a lot better here. We're not seeing those yellow spots in the field. In this trial, we went from 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, even down to 7.5-foot tile spacing just to see what differences we can find. And actually, we want to find the most economic tile spacing for this area. That's what we're testing here. Now, as I've looked at fields across Ohio, those saturated parts of the field, the corn's stunted, it's yellow, the lower leaves are yellow and showing a lot of nutrient deficiencies. In those saturated parts of the field, there's not any oxygen. Roots need oxygen, so even if the nutrients are there, the plant's not able to get them. Now, the question we're getting a lot is, well, what are the implications of this? Now, if you have a part of the field where the soil's saturated, that corn is losing 5% of its available nitrogen for each day that the soil is saturated, ballpark. So that gives you an idea what kind of loss you're seeing. If that's a week of saturated soil, you've lost 35% of your nitrogen in that spot. Now what do we do about it? Well, we'll see how this weather progresses, if we're able to dry out. If that corn was able to survive those conditions, we may need to come in there with some additional units. If the corn's just stunted, the yield potential isn't as high, maybe we'll come in there with 90 units, depending on how much we've lost. Now, how long can those crops survive? Some soybeans have been submerged with water. Soybeans can survive for 2 to 6 days under water. It depends how warm it is and how sunny it is. The sunnier and warmer it is, the lesser amount of time those beans can survive. The other thing is, a lot of these wet areas of the field, the soybean leaves are coated with mud. And of course, they'll go ahead and die if they don't have a rain to wash that mud off. So we've got a lot of frustrations facing us in these wet areas of Ohio, but nitrogen management may become important if we dry out here in the next couple weeks.
To wrap up, we just want to give a word of encouragement to all the farmers out there who have fields underwater. The weather can be frustrating. There's nothing we can do about it. Please feel free to contact your Beck's dealer if there's any way we can help as your fields start to dry up. Thanks for tuning in to the Beck's Hybrids London Practical Farm Research Facility. We'll see you next week.